My name is Ellen Ruge. I am a lighting designer for stage art, such as opera and theater and ballet. I also do commissioned artwork for public buildings, and I also give lectures and master classes in lighting design for the stage. I am from Norway, born in Oslo, 1960. I have 2 children, and I live currently in Stockholm. I am a photographer. I'm educated as a photographer. But I found the work in the darkroom very lonely, and I found it also the work as a photographer very lonely. And then this was back in 1984, I think. I got the chance to, I got invited to come to a theater in Stockholm and to work with them there. Just I didn't get any paid or anything, just being around, and it was a wonderful thing. How the people cooperated and were together in a group, um, and then I saw a dance performance, and then I suddenly saw what the light design could do, and the images and the magic, and it really struck me. And since then, I've only been working with light design. Really, I worked. I started to work there as a technician, and I did everything, and slowly I got jobs as a lighting designer, and since then I've only done that. And but I must stress also that light, or maybe that come later, that light is not. I'm very interested in telling a story and drama, and I'm not so interested in light, really. It just happens to be my tool, I think. So I think you may say that I'm not. I feel strong and powerful when I work with the lights, but it's really the story that interests me. The communication with the audience, and also the communication with the team, which I find so interesting, and yeah. As I said, I don't have any formal light education. I'm an educated still bills photographer, and but since I started to work in the theater, since then I've only been working. I've taken some courses, and but I've only been working. Yeah, mostly I work with big opera productions and ballet productions. Big, since they're often given on big stages, and really it's mostly, well, before it was with small places, but now these small groups, they don't exist anymore so much, or they cannot afford to have a lighting designer. So yeah, I do mostly on big stages. A typical process is it's so different from an opera is something else than a theater. For me, at least, my process is different. Takes opera. It's a very long process, many years, and when you're finally on stage, it's quick, very little time on stage. Whereas in my part of the world, if you do a theater performance, it's many weeks on stage in full decoration and light, and you can experiment or try out more than you can do in an opera production, for instance. And now here, when I'm in Holland with the Nederland Danstheater, we have, I think, I have one I have 3 hours on stage, I think, before the dancers come on stage, and everything is supposed to be finished. So it's very, very quick. But the process for me is really when I get a project, I take a project in my hands. I am always with the team from the start, and I'm very I'm not only, like I said, I'm not only interested in a light. I am interested in everything. I need to be in the process with everything, with the set, with the costumes, with the colors, with the, yeah, I really like to work in a team. And I have maybe 3, 4 teams that I work with constantly. I call it like I'm playing in different bands. And so it's not just one production then, it's more a very long conversation going on over years and years. So that's how I do it. And it's very good to have these long conversations. Well, that depends also, of course, on the situation and on complete creative control. No, I wouldn't say that because we're in a team, and I must be, if I am allowed to say, no, you can't have that wall there, or that color is not okay, then I must be ready to take the other in the team what they feel about my lighting as well, of course. So it's not control in that sense. It's more. It's a yeah. It's an, like I said, a process, and it has very much to do with trust, I suppose. It's good if I feel I'm trusted, then I can work. If I'm questioned, it's very difficult, because I think it's a risk. I put myself at risk when I do a creation. I must be ready to. How can I say? I mean, the risk is that I must be open, so I hear my own thoughts, wishes, ideas, but when I'm open, I'm also open to bad things coming in, or how can I say? I think my sensitivity is my most important tool. But to be sensitive and open, it's also a risky state of mind, for me at least. So I must be very, how can I say? I must be aware to who I open up myself for. It is, for me, I work very intuitively, and how can I say? I must be open, or else it doesn't get anywhere, my work. I see a lot of performances. I go often, as often as I can, really. But I'm very updated in contemporary art, or try to be at least. I go and see. I see all I can, everything I can, and so I'm more interested in or inspired by other artists, really. So that's what I mean maybe when I say that light design is not especially my interest. It's just the tool that I use. Yes, I have some favorite artists, like American artist Anne Hamilton and Spencer Filch and Olafur Eliasson from Iceland, of course, and authors as well. Marguerite Duras and Virginia Woolf and Louise Bourgeois, of course, French artist. Yeah, mm, they give me a lot. I read a lot. Literature, I like. I answered about being a mother of two children, a lone mother, maybe I may say. That's a big challenge, and to work on, have a career. But artistically, maybe it's so interesting because I thought before I came to work on the big stages, I thought that it would be fantastic to work on the big stages. And then when I did, it like La Scala in Milano and Garnier in Paris, and these places they're wonderful places, of course. But I don't know if it was maybe a triumph for me to work there. But I don't know if the triumph was artistically or just how can I say, or if it was just I felt that I had made it or not crashed during the work in these big places. So I guess I was proud of myself that time. To be able to work in these big places, I need to be very, how can I say, think like a man, act like a man as well, I guess, but be more. It's not a problem anymore for me, this gender thing, but it has been, of course. Since when I started, it was very, very rare, very few women. And still, it's few women, maybe not internationally, but in Scandinavia, it's few women in the big stages active. Well, there's other things. Challenges is there that you have very little money, of course, and very little. But there it's also you need to speak, or I should say, I need to speak another language, and I mean not the words, but need to find other tools, more small tools. Then I think for me, making a light design, it's not. I don't think it's so difficult to make fantastic lighting images, and you can. But to make a whole composition, that is difficult, I think. So that it holds itself together. That it's a start and an end, and a whole composition, not just because it can be. I try now all the time to get um, motion and into my light designers. I try not to work so much with color, and I work mostly with warm and cold, very simple things. But I try to get movement and motion into the light design, and I try to. I should say maybe I am a minimalist. I don't. Maybe. Yeah. Well, yes. I remember when I had my first opening at an opera house. I remember I was so happy. I ran up and ran in to the bows and just screamed of happy. I remember that. That was very funny, very nice. But I also remember when I took my daughter. I got the medal from the Swedish king for my work, and I brought my daughter to the royal palace, and we had a wonderful time with champagne, and she was very proud of me, and I was happy I could make my daughter so proud of that. It's well, these are moments, and they mean a lot, of course. And many times I felt happiness when I feel that I have that it works, that it oh, works. What I want to say. Yes, a lot. Yes, absolutely. But everything. I mean the moving lights. Yeah, well, when the moving lights came, we were standing there, didn't know what to do with them. We thought they could only move back, and we didn't. And now we cannot think of making a light design without the moving light, at least not in the bigger stages. So I think we just have to follow the flow. I mean, there is nothing else we can do. The LED, I think it was difficult when it came, but now it's getting much better. And I think the only way of dealing with it is to embrace it and try not to mix it too much with the tungsten, because when you mix it, it's then you see that it's not at all the same tool, even though it looks warm light, but it's not. It's just it's only if you think the tungsten light, it goes into the skin, into the material, but the LED light, it's only makeup, like it's coming on the outside. It doesn't go into the. I don't know why. This is very strange. It's very strange. It's not, well, it's difficult, yes, but I am forced to do it because the institutions are demanding me to do it. But I cannot do it so much. It's just light is just because we are already there so much with the LED lights, for instance, and they use less electricity, and like for instance the National Theatre in Oslo now, they just threw away all their dimmers. They don't have any dimmers anymore. So it's only so very. This goes very quick. That the whole rig is changed. So and that's a difficulty, of course. Now I have a Rigoletto from the Stockholm's Opera that will come to Copenhagen Opera House in 2026, and here it's only or it's very much tungsten, and it's a part of the set. So I don't know how we're gonna do it. We will see. They're gonna have to start looking now. So it's difficult, yeah. But the sustainability is, of course, very very important, and we need to think about it in all the time in our lives as a whole, and also at the work, of course. I mean, we've been spending very much energy, electricity. It's if you think about it, it's crazy. Yes and no. I can't. I think our problem is that we don't demand as the men do. We are much more severe. We say, oh, I cannot do this, and I cannot do this, and or I don't know. But we many, I guess I did, or I tried not to, but it's very difficult not to. So when we get less paid, for instance, many places, because we don't demand that. We don't take that job for there's little money, and we get less time, less equipment, because we don't demand to say I need this, and I've learned that. I know this since some years, so I don't accept less paid. I don't accept less equipment, and I don't. But I'm sure I did for many years, and I'm sure my female colleagues also. Some we have some very powerful women in our backs, like Jennifer Tipton, for instance. I mean, she was or she is very powerful, and has given us someone to look up to. I think so. Of course, it's changing, but it takes time. It takes also it takes guts to be in a situation, in a production situation, and demand more time, more money, more, and then be ready to, yeah, put yourself at risk, like I said before. Then you need to be powerful, and you're not always. Sometimes, oh, be brave, think like a man, and act like a woman. But I don't know really what I mean with that, but I mean that, yeah, you must be brave. It's very hard. It's very hard. I think it is. And you must be prepared to work very hard. Well, I have done that for many, many, many years. And so now I'm not afraid anymore, but I was. I was. I remember it very well. So you must be really brave and, oh, and find people you trust to work with. That is really a good advice. That's important, very important. Find directors that you like their work, and write to them and say, I want to work with you, and write to set designers that you like. Say, I want to work with you. I mean, you must expose yourself. That's also difficult. Be ready to get a no. That's also no. So it's very tough. You need to want to do this, but it's fantastic. It's been my life so far, and I'm 62 now, so I'm planning to work 10 more years at least. I think if I can encourage some women, I hope I can.